Shankaracharyaparyantam Nithyanandeshwari madhyamam Asmadacharyaparyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. I welcome you all with my love and respects. इस समय हमारे साथ उपस्थित सभी दर्शकों और भक्तों का मैं प्रेम एवं आशीर्वाद सहित स्वागत करता हूँ। Today I'll expand on the subject of activism in spiritual practice. Please understand, world has seen enough of different types of activisms. Economical activism, industrial activism, religious activism, ideological activism, communism is nothing but ideological activism. When they take up that ideology, they become so active. Same way, Christianity and Islam, when they take up that ideology, they become so active. Capitalism is an economical activism. When they start seeing the money drives them crazy. They might have started with their business with 10 crore. Now they will be making 10,000 crore per year turnover, but still they go crazy. Economical activism. There are many types of activism. I tell you, the Vedic tradition, Hindu tradition stands for spiritual activism. When you are inspired, impressed by the Vedic tradition, what actually happens? You turn into a spiritual activist. You turn inside towards your depth. Towards the being. The spiritual activism. Today I wanted to expand about this spiritual activism. We were brainstorming for last few days. All my sannyasis. We were trying to create a think tank for Hinduism. What is exactly the unique point, unique contribution of Hinduism? After a thorough research, I am very clear this is the unique contribution. Spiritual knowledge, spirituality, spiritual knowledge, spiritual experience, spiritual strength. I think spirituality is the core message of Hinduism, Vedic tradition. The spiritual activism which makes you internalize these principles, makes you go around and share with the world these great principles, understand, it is spiritual activism. That is the essence of life. आज मैं आध्यात्मिक अभ्यास में सक्रियता के बारे में बात करूंगा। विश्व ने अनेक तरह की सक्रियता देखी है। आर्थिक सक्रियता जैसे पूंजीवाद, धार्मिक सक्रियता जैसे क्रिस्त धर्म और इस्लाम धर्म, वैचारिक सक्रियता जैसे साम्यवाद, वैदिक संप्रदाय आध्यात्मिक सक्रियता है। I tell you, हिंदू धर्म आध्यात्मिक सक्रियता का प्रतीक है। हिंदू वैदिक धर्म का मुख्य संदेश आध्यात्मिक ज्ञान, आध्यात्मिक अनुभूति, आध्यात्मिकता है। I tell you, me and my Sangha should be known to the world with this one truth of spirituality, spiritual knowledge and experience. Spirituality should be the truth through which me and my Sangha should be known to the world, because I stand for spiritual activism. Let me enter into this concept, the truth spiritual activism. ध्यान से सुनिए, लिसन। मैं आध्यात्मिक सक्रियता का प्रतीक हूं। ध्यान से सुनिए। प्लीज मूव टू द स्पेस ऑफ सिटिंग with completion in listening. Understand, sitting in completion with listening is Upanishad. Sitting in completion in the space of listening is Upanishad. So please move to the space of Upanishad. पूर्णत्व स्थिति में सुनना उपनिषद है। कृपया उपनिषद की स्थिति में स्वयं को लाइए। आध्यात्मिक सक्रियता ही आपको पूरे विश्व के साथ इन महान सत्यों को बांटने के लिए प्रेरित करता है। लिसन, सिट इन उपनिषद in the space of listening in completion. When you are in completion, you can sit even facing wall for 12 years, which Bodhidharma did. He was facing the wall of the cave, sitting 12 years, because he was in completion. When you are in incompletion, even watching a movie TV, you can't sit more than 10 minutes. You go on changing channels. Sit in Upanishad space, pure listening space, to internalize spiritual activism. First law. In any field, when you become active, you reach the peak result of that field. The peak of that field is achieved. If you become economically active, you get money. You become politically active, you get power. If you are religiously active, you become religious leader. Please listen. Every human being is always active in some field. If you say, no, Swamiji, I don't think I am active in any field because I have not achieved anything, you are active in Confucianism. Getting caught in your conflicts, contradictions, confusions, you are active, that's all. But there is nobody who is not active. I tell you, consciously diverting your energy, which is active, is spiritual activism. Whatever may be the field, if you are active, you will reach the peak of it. I tell you, if you become spiritually active, you reach the peak of all the fields, whether it is money, energy, intelligence, you become active in everything. Spiritual activism means continuously, tirelessly enriching you and enriching everyone around you. Sometimes I feel this mala, means rudraksha, is tilak, kumkum. All this not only enriches you, it enriches even the people who see. When they see, they ask you, what is this necklace around your neck? Then immediately introduction starts. This is energized by my spiritual master, my guru. Nowadays the whole world knows the word guru. Guru has become English word. So the enriching starts, I tell you. Become a spiritual activist, I tell you. You will have a new life. Go around continuously, talk to people, enrich them. Help them to solve their conflicts. Find solution from conflicts. पहली बात यह है कि कोई भी क्षेत्र में जब आप सक्रिय बनेंगे, आप उस क्षेत्र में सर्वोच्च परिणाम पाएंगे। जब आप आध्यात्मिकता में सक्रिय होंगे, तब आप हर क्षेत्र में सर्वोच्च परिणाम पाएंगे, चाहे वो धन संपत्ति हो या विश्व को लाभान्वित करना। आध्यात्मिक सक्रियता विश्व को लाभान्वित करने से आरंभ होता है। हर व्यक्ति लगातार किसी भी क्षेत्र में सक्रिय होता है। ऐसा कोई भी व्यक्ति नहीं है जो सक्रिय नहीं है। सचेत रूप से अपनी ऊर्जा को दिशा देना ही आध्यात्मिक सक्रियता है। यदि आप आध्यात्मिक रूप से सक्रिय हैं, तो आप जीवन के सभी क्षेत्र में सक्रिय जो जाते हैं। आध्यात्मिक सक्रियता का अर्थ है लगातार बिना थकान के स्वयं को और दूसरों को लाभान्वित करना है। I wanted each one of my disciples to be spiritually activist. आध्यात्मिक सक्रियता वादी बनिए। लगातार लोगों को उनके संघर्ष का समाधान पाने में सहायता कीजिए। Understand? If you think you are my disciple, you are my follower, you have to be a spiritual activist. Means living spiritual truths actively and teaching spiritual truths actively to as many people as possible. So spiritual activism, that's the right word I'll use for describing me and my people. Spiritual activist. Continuously enrich yourself and enrich others with these great spiritual principles. I tell you, most difficult job in the planet Earth is balancing a teenager. That is the most difficult job in the planet Earth. You can do anything other than balancing a teenager. Because the body is going through a great transformation. A child is becoming adult. That is the age between 13 and 19. A child is becoming adult. The best way to balance a teenager's energy is help them to be spiritual activists. Means before 13 they should know all the ideas to apply within them. I have seen engineers kids, even if they are confused, they try to find solution only with 4 tattvas. I have seen even my Gurukul kids. Running a Gurukul is not a joke, and especially with a new ideology. My Gurukul is the only school hostel where no actor's photo or photograph is there. And I can challenge, none of my kids are fan of any actor. think they are so happy about what I said. Now I tell you, the spiritual activism means constantly drilling yourself with the spiritual truths and finding solution for any problem with the spiritual truths. And I tell you, at the age of 13, you should start analyzing, enriching yourself with the spiritual truths and enriching others with the spiritual truths. If you have a teenage kid and you don't know how to handle the kid, make him a spiritual activist, you will be free. You will be liberated. One, the child will do best thing for himself or herself and for others. Whenever you become a spiritual activist, all the childhood tendencies in you gets matured and you become adult. Understand? When a child is becoming adult, you should teach the kid to be spiritual activist. And I want to make one more statement. Only when you become spiritual activist, you turn as adult. मैं चाहता हूँ कि मेरे हर शिष्य आध्यात्मिक सक्रियतावादी बने, लगातार स्वयं को और अन्य लोगों को इन आध्यात्मिक सिद्धांतों के साथ लाभान्वित करके आध्यात्मिक सक्रियता का अभ्यास लगातार अपने हर समस्या का समाधान आध्यात्मिक सत्यों से पाइए कीजिए। 13 से 19 वर्ष के बीच के बालक को संतुलित करना सबसे कठिन विषय है। उनको संतुलित बनाने का सरल मार्ग है उन्हें आध्यात्मिक सक्रियता का ज्ञान देना। किसी भी प्रश्न का समाधान केवल आध्यात्मिक सत्यों के द्वारा ही खोजना आध्यात्मिक सक्रियता है। Understand? Spiritual activism will help you to be aware of your whole life. There won't be a single dark corners in your inner space left unattended. Clearing the conflicts, contradictions in you and in others. Especially when you help others to clear their conflicts, contradictions through the spiritual strength, you will have so much of clarity in you, I tell you, constantly help others to resolve their conflict. You can help others only if you listen to others, not just by talking. Helping others starts by listening. It is by listening helping starts. When you really listen, you will radiate so much of humbleness. You will help so many people. I tell you, when you continuously help others, even in the dream, you will be contemplating only about all the solutions. Enriching others, you will enrich you also. You will break thousands and thousands of conflicting patterns in you. If you help others to break laziness and boredom, you will break laziness and boredom. If you help others to break confusion, conflicts, you will break your confusion and conflicts. I want all my disciples to be spiritual activists. Just like healer's initiation, I wanted to create one more category of people, spiritual activists. I'll empower them with Vak Siddhi. I'll really do it. I'll do it. I'll empower them with Vak Siddhi. ध्यान दीजिए, केवल जब आप आध्यात्मिक सक्रियतावादी बनते हैं, तभी आप बालक अवस्था से विकसित होके बड़े बन सकते हैं। लगातार दूसरों को लाभान्वित कीजिए। आप दूसरों को तभी लाभान्वित कर सकते हैं जब आप में सुनने की शक्ति हो। अन्य लोगों को अपने बातों से नहीं, बल्कि आपकी अपनी सुनने की शक्ति से आप लाभान्वित कर सकते हैं। I tell you, being a spiritual activist is this is my anyakara to all my disciples. Anybody think they are my follower or disciple, be a spiritual activist. Being a spiritual activist is my anyakara for all you guys. This is what exactly I expect from every one of you. Be a spiritual activist. In your cognition, continuously think about these four tattvas. When you relate with others, radiate these four tattvas. मेरे सभी शिष्यों से मैं केवल यही अपेक्षा रखता हूँ कि आप सभी एक आध्यात्मिक सक्रियतावादी बन के जीवन जिए। Wherever you are, whoever is working with you, around you, under you, help them with the spiritual principles. Help them to find their incompletions, root patterns, and complete with it. When you complete with you and others, you become a different being. I tell you, before you do the completion, I can't even tell you after completion what kind of a space you will be in. I can't even tell you that, because after completion the space you will experience will be so totally different. It can't be described, or it can't be made to you can't be made to understand it before you do the completion. With completion you become such complete being. Neither you will have a conflict, nor people around you will have a conflict. My Gurukul will be embodiment of spiritual activism. Understand, my Gurukul will be embodiment of spiritual activism. अब जहान भी हो, अब जो भी व्यक्तित्व से काम कर रहे हो, लगातार अपने आसपास सभी लोगों के नकारात्मक मूल विचारधारा और साँचों को पहचानने में और उनके साथ पूर्णत्व स्थिति को लाने में उनकी सहायता कीजिए। I always wanted the spiritual activism to happen. Please understand, I always wanted that spiritual activism should get solidified as my Sangha. My purpose and the advent on the planet Earth is to make people spiritual activists. Understand? Now I am seeing it is happening, especially when people help others to find the root patterns. I can see it happening. It is happening. Nowadays, hundreds and hundreds of spontaneous classes are happening all over the world by my disciples. There is no organized NDY, NKY. Organized Nitya Yoga or Nitya Kriya Yoga. Spontaneous classes in every reception room, welcome rooms, in every home. or even the buses, trains, cars, taxis. When you get somebody, that's it. Either he finds root pattern, there is no R, only he finds root pattern, that's all. No, I can see so much of spiritual activism. But I wanted this to become like a fire, wildfire, spreading all over the world. The spiritual activism. I tell you, organized classes, organized religions, churches, sermons, seminars, programs cannot really be activism. Nothing organized can be activism. It is only organized. But these principles which I am teaching are so powerful now, people don't wait for organizing a class and all that. And no need to wait also. Even when they go in the taxi, the cab driver, they find the root pattern for the cab driver. When the journey is over, the driver is liberated from his root pattern. मैं देख रहा हूँ बहुत सारा आध्यात्मिक सक्रियता मेरे संघ के कोने कोने में अब प्रचार हो रहा है. What I wanted is really starting, but I tell you, I wanted it to become more and more active. Each one of you, each one of my disciples should take a vow that from today he declares himself as a spiritual activist. Means in every possible way, he will go on helping people to live four tattvas. He will go on supporting people to live four tattvas. He will help everyone to find their root pattern and complete it. I tell you, you might have, if you have 10 root pattern, you might have found only one uncompleted. But start helping others to find their root patterns and complete. You will see, simply you will find your remaining root patterns and complete it. When you help somebody to find the root pattern of suffering and complete it, get rid of it, you literally give life to that person, new energy to that person, new intelligence to that person, new leaf of life to that person. Understand? I want every one of you, don't keep me in your cupboard. No. Keep me in your cognition. Don't keep me in your cupboard. keep me in your cognition. If you keep me in your cupboard, you may just hide me just for you. Only when you radiate me, keep me in your cognition and radiate me, you will be a spiritual activist. आज मेरे सभी शिष्य यह घोषणा कीजिए कि आज से आप एक आध्यात्मिक सक्रियतावादी है और आप लगातार दूसरों को पीड़ा देने वाली उनकी मूल विचारधारा को विनाश करने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध है. Commit. You will help at least 1,008 people to find root pattern in next 3 months. Means per day 30 persons. Go around and catch people. Listen to them. Help them to find their root pattern and complete their root pattern. Let us help humanity to be free from sufferings. This is the purpose of my advent on the planet Earth. I need at least million spiritual activists. Become spiritual activists. Spiritual activism is Jivan Mukti, living enlightenment. Spiritual activists are the real beings. Live this integrity, authenticity, responsibility and enriching. Go on helping people to live this integrity, authenticity, responsibility and enriching. Continuously find your root patterns and complete, and help people to find their root patterns and complete. अगले 3 महीनों में कम से कम 1008 लोगों के पीड़ा देने वाले मूल विचारधारा को समाप्त करने की प्रतिबद्धता आज लीजिए. I want every one of you to become spiritual activists. Spontaneous classes should happen in every devotee's house. In your reception hall, in your welcome room, in your office chairs, in your business office, everywhere the spontaneous sessions should start. Don't think, oh, I can't do, I am not that intelligent to help people to find their root pattern. No, then this is the root pattern for you. Complete it. If you become a spiritual activist, that is the only way to save the planet Earth. Understand? Becoming a spiritual activist is the only way you will save planet Earth. It is time we save planet Earth. Nothing else can save planet Earth. All my disciples should introduce themselves to others as spiritual activists. I am so and so, I am a spiritual activist. Spiritual activism should infiltrate in every field. World has suffered with enough of media activism, judiciary activism, police excess, economical activism. It is time we heal the world through spiritual activism. Spiritual activism should be our life breath. This is my today's essence. Today's Satsang's essence. This is my message. Not only today's Satsang's essence, I tell you, this is the essence of all my teachings. This is the essence of all my teachings. Find your root thought pattern, complete it, complete with yourself and complete with others. Help everyone to find their root thought pattern, complete with themselves and complete with others. Bring spiritual activism. Whatever you are doing, bring spiritual activism into it. I tell you, being a spiritual activist, you will continuously expand in your life in every dimension. Spiritual seeker is not a complete word or right word. For my disciples, I give a clear title, spiritual activists. Don't use the word spiritual seeker. It's a dirty word. Spiritual seeker is the word used by many gurus, to keep you constantly bound as a slave. When I say spiritual activists, living as gurus, I want each one of you to be gurus. आज की सत्संग का सारांश है, हमारे धरती को बचाने के लिए केवल एक ही मार्ग है, हर मानव को आध्यात्मिक सक्रियतावादी बननी चाहिए। इसलिए आज से सक्रियतावादी बनिए, स्वयं और विश्व को विनाश से बचा के लाभान्वित कीजिए। All my Gurukul kids should be spiritual activists. All my sannyasis should be spiritual activists. All my disciples should be spiritual activists. All my followers should be spiritual activists. People ask me, tell me Swamiji, what should I do? Now I am telling you, this is what I want you to do. Be a spiritual activist. Infiltrate into media, politics, judiciary, officials, executive, into every field, fill spiritual activism. Let this energy of spiritual activism be filled in every field. This is what is my message. Bringing spiritual activism in everyone's life. Bringing spiritual activism in everyone's life is enlightenment. Jnana Sambandar is one of the greatest spiritual activists. Adi Shankara, Jnana Sambandar, Vivekananda, all of them are spiritual activists. I bless you all to become spiritual activists. So sit straight and declare for yourself and to the world with integrity, authenticity, responsibility and enriching. You will live as spiritual activists. Sit straight, close your eyes. मैं आप सभी को आशीर्वाद देता हूं कि आप सभी आध्यात्मिक सक्रियवादी बने। सीधा बैठ के आंखें बंद कीजिए और यह घोषणा कीजिए कि मैं एक आध्यात्मिक सक्रियवादी बने। आध्यात्मिक सक्रियवादी हूं। आध्यात्मिक सक्रियतावादी हूं।
जीवन Jivanmukti-pradam devam Kshama-purnam.
Paramahamsa Nithyananda is a rare living incarnation, a yogi by birth. He has been expressing his power of enlightenment since birth. He has authored more than 500 books in Tamil and English, books in Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Hindi, Sanskrit, Gujarati, Oriya, Bengali, Marathi, French, Malay, Polish, Portuguese, Italian, German, Danish, Spanish, Russian and Chinese, with translations in 26 languages are available. He is also an exemplary speaker with over 8,000 hours of profound life solutions through his discourses. Social services such as Annadan, free medical care, free educational services, ashrams, schools, temples, hospitals established in more than 140 places around the world offer exceptional services. A powerful spiritual healer who has healed millions of people of diseases from migraine to cancer. A Kriya Yogi who has formulated Kriyas for physical health and mental well-being, benefiting thousands. A living master who offers practical solutions for our everyday problems. Having meditation centers in 151 countries including Bidadi, Thiruvannamalai, Rajapalyam, Salem, Hyderabad, Varanasi, Los Angeles, Ohio, Seattle, San Jose and Phoenix. He is the founder and spiritual head of Nithyananda Dhyanapitham, a spiritual guru for 10 million followers, an incarnation who transmits the highest spiritual energy through initiation. A contemporary yogi who has revived the Vedic science of yoga worldwide through thousands of yoga centers. Adept in Ashtamahasiddhis, mystical yogic powers, he has effortlessly awakened the Kundalini of thousands, gracing them with spiritual powers. A spiritual powerhouse who has revived the sacred Vedic tradition by establishing Vedic temples worldwide in places like Los Angeles, San Jose, Seattle, Toronto, Ohio, Oklahoma, Phoenix, St. Louis, Malaysia, Brazil, Paris, Guadeloupe, Dallas, New York, New Jersey, Atlanta, Calgary, Vancouver, Singapore, and places like Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Thiruvannamalai in India. A dynamic young guru who is an inspiration to thousands of youngsters. India's most watched spiritual guru online. A beacon of spiritual light who has triumphed over the forces of religious terrorism and political persecution. Paramahamsa Nithyananda is an eternal Kalpataru, blessing the world with the boons of material abundance and spiritual enlightenment.
Anandanubhavaswadam sarvaroganivarakam Vande Papa Vinashaktam Nithyanandaya Swagatam Nityamuktam Nirvikalpam Dhyana-loka Pradipakam Vande Shantamayam Bandham Nithyanandaya Swagatam Ananda-gandha Sancharam Sarvopadhi-vinirmuktam Vande Jnanalayam Natham Nithyanandaya Swagatam.
Let you all achieve, experience, live, express, radiate, share and explode in eternal bliss. Nithyananda.
Nithyananda Dhyanapitham, Nithyananda Nagar, off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bengaluru. Phone 08027279999. www.nithyananda.org, www.youtube.com/Life Bliss Foundation.